Shalom, shalom, Israel, first and foremost. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, the bonds to the elders and apostles, great millstone, Shalom, 20 Akim, YAHAWADH, who are diligently waiting to be delivered from this final captivity. This brother Kawakab coming at you with another lesson. Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 2. Thus speaketh the Lord, power of Israel, saying, Write thee all the words I have spoken unto thee in a book. So, today's lesson is going to be on just this thing in general about Christians. I guess more so of a complaint video about Christians. The reason why is because I've heard some of these Christians say specifically like we were trying to figure out the purpose of of the book of Samuel, or like why was it written, like what's the purpose, blah blah blah, and that's something that's speaking as a man, it's something that I feel like is an extremely disrespectful thing. All right, and the reason why is because once again, this is like coming from, so-called Edomite or what appeared to have been Edomite Christians, and it's like, of course, they wouldn't understand, or they wouldn't know, they wouldn't receive the message from it, simply because the Bible in general is not for quote-unquote Christians alone, but Israelite quote-unquote Christians. And when I say Israelite Christians, I mean like the true meaning of the word Christian is supposed to be a follower of Yahawashi, all right, a follower of whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, all right. And as a result of that, people, they don't seem to understand or truly receive what the actual word and the purpose of the entirety of the Bible is. Even with most I'll say a lot of Christians, they all they do is they read the New Testament, and oftentimes they just disregard the Old Testament, all right. And like, I'll even use myself for example. When I was a Christian, okay, and I didn't know anything about the Bible. I didn't know the dark sayings, the dark understandings. Which, by the way, I mean, I also get that. Matthew 13 verse 10, and the disciples came and said unto him, Why speakest thou unto them in parables? He answered and said unto them, Because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. For whosoever hath, to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance. But whosoever hath not, for him shall be taken away, even that he hath. Therefore speak I to them in parables, because they see not, and hearing, they hear not, neither do they understand. All right. So, yeah, basically, most of the Bible is in this thing, which is lucky. That's another thing, which all these prophecies, all these breakdowns, all these understandings, like you would have never had. I'll say, prior to speaking for myself, first and foremost, I'll just speak to myself only. Prior to coming into this truth, I didn't know anything about the Bible. If you were to ask me to try to break down the Bible, all right, I would, if you had a gun to my head, okay, just say, hey, you better explain this stuff to me right now. What does the Bible say about this, and blah, blah, blah. And I literally had a gun to my head and I had to do it. I literally would not be able to do it because I did not understand. It's only after, number one, the Lord, gave access to, the previous apostles to break these stuff down. And then the truth got to me, the breakdown, the understanding. Okay. The Lord opened my heart to be able to see and understand and break stuff down. That's why I'm able to break them down now. But as for them that are without. All right, let me also get that. Shoot, so many precepts popping up. It's Corinthians. It's in Corinthians. Isn't it one? Here, 1 Corinthians chapter 5 verse 12. For what have I to do to judge them also that are without? Do not ye judge them that are within. All right. So those that are within the truth and oath, then that's the people that we talk to. We judge. We say, hey, this and the third, you correct and all that. But for those that are without, those that are without the wisdom and knowledge of this truth, then it's not your business. Okay. This is the thing. This is a spirit that we really got to be in these. Today, right? Like right now, like today, as of literally today, in addition to these last days, because, the Lord is quickly showing us a lot of stuff has been changing. A lot of stuff has been popping off, like extremely, like very, very much so. All right. You got, what's it called? Donald Trump, with all this stuff that he's been doing, all right, like call on YAHAWAH, and the devil just basically knows that it's a short time. Anyway, continuing on, with that being said, going back to the whole Christians, they don't understand the Bible. Like you have a whole big subsection of, well, as I was saying, there was this one instance where these Christians were saying, like, what's the purpose of Samuel? All right, and the thing about Samuel is, really, well, number one, I do believe, to the best of my memory, the Most High Yahawah, he did speak to I believe it was Samuel. Okay, I could be wrong. Who was it? But regardless, forget it. Let me just stay on this. Basically, where is it? 1 Samuel chapter 16 verse 16. This is an example of one of the wisdom and knowledge that we get from the lessons or the stories of what had happened to our ancestors, and we learn from that, because this is not spoken about anywhere else in the scriptures. Okay, in terms of this one specific example, 1 Samuel chapter 16 verse 16. Let our Lord now command thy servants which are before thee to seek out a man who is a cunning player on an harp, and it shall come to pass, when the evil spirit from Yahawah is upon thee, that he shall play with his hand, and thou shalt be well. Shall be well. So, this is just one example of when there's an evil spirit that gets on you. Get someone that can play the harp, or just get harp music, because harp music helps deter or remove, more specifically, evil spirits. All right, and this is a very important example, because when we have to deal with stuff on our own, we're not like linked up as a community and whatnot. And these are the steps that we have to be taking to kind of help us stay in the spirit. All right, so this is something to remember. All right, so as a result of that, this is these are the steps that we take to better our situation. All right. 1 Timothy chapter 2 verse 14. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in transgression. Now, that's actually another lesson I want to do. I might I might do next, but basically, you have these different subsections of Christianity and Israel and Hebrew Israelites and stuff like that, where they always want to make different doctrines. All right, and the stuff about that is the problem with that is that they are the women. The woman is the one that's first and foremost the one that's always deceived, because when you have these guys making these different doctrines, it is like it's always like, let's appeal to the woman, because the woman, or the so-called black woman more specifically, they're always the one that are giving the money. They have the money to get to spare and whatnot, and they're basically making them poor, making them or taking their money from them. All right. Slakia. All right, and as a result of that, so the so-called black woman is a very easy target. All right, because they always, where is it? Here, Ephesians chapter 4, verse 14, that we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro, and carried about with every wind of doctrine, by the sleight of men and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive. Okay, they are easily, and I'm not saying that so-called black men or so-called Hispanic men or men in general aren't carried by doctrine as well. Yes, they are also carried by doctrine, but I'm saying that one of the biggest victims is the woman, as the woman is, always like looking like, oh, well, how can I feel empowered? How can I feel this, then, third? And, it's because of that feminist spirit that gets on them to, make them think that they are more than what they should be. And they make them think that they have more power than what is necessary, when all that they really have to do, all right, is just, Titus chapter 2 verse 3, the aged woman likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers, not given to much wine, teachers of good things, that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of Yahweh be not blasphemed. Okay, so yeah, it's basically like all they are expected to do is just like, the expectations are remove the expectations of them remove a lot of the responsibilities from them, for them to just, all they have to do is just, okay, yeah, I have to work at home, and that's it. All right, that's really it. There's nothing else major. All right. So bear with me one moment. Slakia. Oh, so as I was saying, well, what was I saying? Basically, yeah, most of the responsibilities, like having to learn the breakdowns for the scriptures and stuff like that, they don't have to do that. They don't have to do that. All they have to do is just listen to what the all right, Slocky again. As I was saying, so yeah, there's all the responsibility. It's non-existent. They don't have to do much. All they have to do is just, keep at home and handle all the stuff at home. Okay, whereas the man is responsible for learning the scriptures, being able to break stuff down, being able to understand stuff, for his family's sake, all right, for his household's sake, as well as potentially if that is your lot, if as a man, you also will have to teach others, but that's not always the case. Some brothers aren't the best teachers, okay, which surprisingly enough, I thought that was me, but apparently the Lord put the spirit on me to be able to teach. Okay, so yeah, this is the thing where feminism kind of ruined the women, making them think that they gotta go out and go teaching, go, like they see the internet, so they have to show their face, they have to go out there, right? Like, no, you do not have to do that. That is not what you do. You just have to stay and teach your own family, and when I say family, like family member, like your daughter, fucking other younger, your nieces, nephews, all that type of shit, or maybe your friends, but don't be going online to be teaching women. Like, I see so many women. As a matter of fact, there was a time on YouTube when I would only get Christian women teaching and stuff like that on this YouTube channel. Like that was just something that I just did not like seeing, regardless of if they were sincere or not. Because in terms of like the Edomite women, I didn't think that they were sincere, and it was always some. Well, actually, I will admit that there was this one Edomite looking chick that gave me some very surprising information, which there's some certain things that you can learn from everyone. So I'll take that back. I will say I was surprised by some of the information, okay, that I learned. But outside of that, just in general, there still should not be teaching. All right, as is what the scriptures said. All right, but continuing on, so Revelation chapter 22 verse 19, and if any man shall take away from the words of the book of this prophecy, Yahweh shall take away his part out of the book of life and out of the holy city from the things which are written in this book. And this is the thing, with the whole Christian doctrine, where they feel the need, like, okay, well, we don't need the Old Testament. Or anytime the Old Testament gets brought out, they say, "Oh, we're not dealing with the Old Testament anymore. We're dealing with the New Testament, this, and third." And you have this whole big thing. It's like, why are the laws written if we're not supposed to attempt to follow afterward? We're not supposed to, make this as the baseline of how we're supposed to be living our lives. Okay, they say all this stuff, they do all this stuff. Like, why would they show us? You basically get the picture. It's just like they throw that all away to say, okay, well, now we can do it wherever we want. But also we can cherry pick which laws we're gonna keep. So we're not gonna steal, but we are going, or we're not allowed to steal, but we can eat pork. But the scriptures say, we're not supposed to do all this stuff. And again, it's like a whole big thing of like they don't know what's right, what's wrong, and they want to ruin. They want to flip flop on what is okay and what's not okay. All right, like they don't have a proper standard, if you want to, if that's the proper way. Yeah, I guess that's the proper way to say it, the proper term. They don't have a standard on how to do things. Just like, let's play it by ear, do whatever we want, and you know what, if things get too hard for us, then we'll just take away more restrictions slash laws, and until there's no laws, but yet we're still sinners. There's no laws that we have to follow, but we're still sinners. Like, yeah. Anyway, but we have to love everybody. We have to. The Lord told us to love everyone, even freaking predators, people that hurt little kids, people that are killing people, people that killed our family members. Because I seen that as well. Because I seen this one Jake dude who had his brother or something, or father, I forgot, who got killed by this cop unrighteously. Like, the cop knew they were in the wrong. Everyone knows that the cop was in the wrong, and it was an Edomite woman that was the cop that killed the dude. And the dude went and hugged his brother's murderer. All right, that is all the way wrong. The Lord did not say to forgive your enemies like that. Okay, but the Lord also did not say to go and seek revenge, but he did not say to go hug and go love your enemies. All right, those enemies. All right, because the reason why is because they also are the Lord's enemies. Okay, so you're not supposed to be loving the Lord's enemies. And let me actually get this. Psalm chapter 139 verse 21. Do not I hate them, O Lord? Slaki, that I hate thee, and am not I grieved with those that rise up against thee. I want to scroll down if I can. Verse 22. I hate them with perfect hatred. I count them mine enemies. Okay, so the enemies of the Lord, the people that specifically hate YAHAWAH and His, they are counted as our enemies. All right, and more specifically, there is, someone might think that it says, the scriptures say, love your enemies. All right. Well, yes, it does say that, but that's not. There's what's the word? There is a discrepancy. The discrepancy is the whole the enemies within Israel. Like, so say for example, you have a what's a word? You make an enemy out of a brother. All right. You're not supposed to like just in general. Like, say for example, the difference is if you like are arguing with your actual blood brother and whatnot. Okay, there shouldn't be any genuine evil intent. Okay, because let's say I steal my brother's whatever, let's say food, okay, and he gets mad at me like that, like, hey yo, like I was saving that, blah blah blah, this and the third and whatnot, and he's not. I know that he is not, and I'm not. All right, or I would love to think that he is not, and I'm not going to actually try to like kill one another as a result of the bad blood between one another. All right, whereas for an actual heathen, okay, making an enemy of an Israelite, the difference between us two is that heathen, all right, more specifically Edomites, all right, that Edomite is actually going to attempt to kill me. And it's like you Christians, you guys want you want the all nothing. You guys are okay with having nothing but bad stuff happening to the Israelites, but whenever whenever something bad, all the curses, all right, are mentioned to be put on the heathens, that's when nobody is okay with it. Nobody says, oh yes, this is fair because it happened to the Israelites. Okay, but everyone wants to be an Israelite, but no one wants the Israelite problems. Everyone wants to reap the benefits, but no one wants the curses. Everyone wants the blessing, but no one wants the curses. All right, and that's just objectively not fair. All right, that was another socket. That's another thing where you guys say that we're supposed to be forgiving our enemies when the Edomites enslaved the Israelites. Okay, all the different tribes of the Israelites. Okay, and then it's not gonna be okay for us to do the same as a reprisal. All right, like this is the thing. These are the things that's not fair. Like how do you think that the Lord would go and do something when the Lord said that Israel is a special people, a chosen people? All right, like this is ridiculous. Fucking, let me just. No, okay, then let's go. Please tell me that works. Of course. That's space. Amazing how no wonder. Exodus chapter 4 verse 22, and thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, thus saith the Lord, Israel is my son, even my firstborn. All right, so it was one word, no wonder. So basically Israel is the son, okay, very precious to YAHAWAH, but yet and as a result of that, look at what happened. As a matter of fact, look at what happened to Pharaoh. Call on YAHAWAH for this specific precept, okay, where it says, look at what happened with. Sorry, it doesn't say, but with Pharaoh. Pharaoh had to die because of what he had done to the Israelites. Okay, so then the exact same thing happens to the Israelites with another nation, the so-called white man. All right, and then now, I don't want any of that happen to I don't want any of that happen to fucking the Edomites. All right. Oh no, I love the Edomites. That's the third. Well, again, like how is this fair? How is this fair? All right, you're okay with Pharaoh or any of these or us going through the bad stuff, but you don't want the Edomites to go through the exact same thing. All right. As a matter of fact, it would only make sense that should they be quote unquote grafted in, okay, but because they can't, but if they were to be grafted in, you would expect for them to go through the same things. You would want them to go through the same things, and that's basically how we know for a fact that you have the so-called South Americans, all right, which are Israelites, being Israelites. That's also how I know. I'll say out speaking for myself. That's how I know the Ainus which are the so-called natives of Japan. All right, so-called natives of Japan. I know that's how I know that they are Israelites. Okay, because all these curses happen to them. Like all these things happen to them, and as a result of that, this is how we can tell and differentiate who are YAHAWAH's chosen people. All right, and it's like these heathens, they only want the good things, and funnily enough, the 2/3 that want Esau to be saved, they don't want any of the bad stuff to happen to him, for him to even be to be attempted to be qualified to have salvation. All right, which again, like, that's not gonna give him salvation, but the logic is very plain and clear, to the point where if you give them such and such, then yes, that's when they're going to be qualified for to be it's like not qualified, but that's when they're going to attempt to have an arguing point, but they don't have an arguing point because of the wickedness that they do, because of the, I guess, free range that they have to do all that they want. All right, which again, like, this goes to show like people also take like, what's it called, what happened with Dina, all right, as an example of, oh yeah, this is a way to bring people in as Israelites. All right, they were saying that you can become an Israelite if you get circumcised. Like no, that was literally a ploy. It was a trick. All right, I mean, as a matter of fact, let me get that. All right. Here it is. Genesis chapter 34 verse 32, Slakia, not 32, verse 2. And when Shechem, the son of Hamor, the Hivite, the prince of the country, saw her, he took her and lay with her and defiled her. And his soul clave unto Dinah, the daughter of Jacob, and he loved the damsel and spake kindly unto the damsel. And Shechem spake unto his father Hamor, saying, Get me this damsel to wife. And Jacob heard that he had defiled Dinah, his daughter. Now his sons were with his cattle in the field, and Jacob held his peace until they were come. And Hamor, the father of Shechem, went out unto Jacob to commune with him. Okay, here it is. Verse 7. And the sons of Jacob came out of the field when they heard it, and the men were grieved, and they were very wroth, because he had wrought folly in Israel in lying with Jacob's daughter, which thing ought not to be done. Where is it? Let me just jump into the point. Okay, here, verse 13. And the sons of Jacob answered Shechem and Hamor his father deceitfully. Over here, the context of it, it says, answered Shechem and Hamor his father deceitfully, and said, because he had defiled Dinah their sister. And they said unto them, we cannot do this thing, to give our sister to one that is uncircumcised, for that were a reproach unto us. But in this will we consent unto you, if ye will be as we be, that every male of you be circumcised. Then will we give our daughters unto you, and we will take your daughters to us, and we will dwell with you, and we will become one people. He said, they said deceitfully. The context in verse 13, they answered them deceitfully. All right. And why did they? What ended up after? All right. Let me get to the point. They defer not to this thing. Blah blah. Okay. So verse 25, and it came to pass on the third day, when they were sore, that two of the sons of Jacob, Simeon and Levi, Dinah's brethren, took each man his sword, and came upon the city boldly, and slew all the males. And they slew Hamor and Shechem his sons with the edge of the sword, and took Dinah out of Shechem's house, and went out. The sons of Jacob came upon the slain and spoiled the city because they had defiled their sister. Right, so they basically murked everyone. All right, Slakia, I went in on this as well. This is a very completely different thing, but at the same time, hey, funnily enough, it does go to show that they don't understand the scriptures. All right, it does go to show that they don't understand the scriptures, because this is an example of or from what I've heard. Okay, I've had someone show this to me as a way of, this is how someone is converted or brought in to an Israelite. This is the practice that they did. This is what they said. This is what they told me. They used this as an arguing point. All right, when number one, it says, I didn't even remember that it said deceitfully during that, when I was talking to said Christian. All right, and on top of that, but I did remember that they killed everyone. All right, and yet they were saying they were misremembering it to think. I'll say that I don't think it was malicious, but they were misremembering it to think that YAHAWASHI said that what they did was wrong, when Yahweh didn't say anything. It was Jacob that just did not approve of that because he wanted to live in peace. But what's it called? I think it was Simeon. Yes, Simeon and Levi just wanted to get their get back. All right, and also they apparently got up. They got up because they spoiled their whole town, their whole city. All right, they got riches off of it. All right, or they got quote unquote booty from it, in terms of like all goods in general, which do include women. But continuing on, Matthew 22 verse 29. Yahushua answered and said to them, ye do err, not knowing the scriptures nor the power of Yahweh. All right. So yeah, this is the major thing with Christians. They don't know the scriptures, and they don't know the power of Yahweh. They don't know the reputation and stuff like that. And as a matter of fact, funnily enough, the Old Testament does show us the reputation. But going back to Revelation chapter 22, verse 19, there were men that took away from the words of the Bible. All right, and this is where we get the Bible Destruction Group with Carl Anton. I don't know who that is, but I did hear that what happened with this was that they removed the Apocrypha. I think this was, for the most part, basically the reason why the Apocrypha was not included in the main Bible. I forgot the reason why. I'm not gonna try to remember it, because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna misremember it. But yeah, basically this was the reason why. Check out this video, watch, subscribe. I'm gonna link this into the description. But as a result of them removing important stories like the Maccabees, right? Great story, all right. The Lord's gonna basically handle them. All right. Now, lastly, no, I don't. Yeah, I don't need to do this. Like, that's a completely different thing. But anyway, with that, I pray this lesson was edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahawah, Ba'ashem Yahawashi, Ba'ashem MANASSEH, double honor to the elders and apostles, a great millstone, a body of ball, and Shalom.